Greetings to all my friends. I am Adamu of the monadic entity of the Pleiadian civilization, coming to you, as always, through my trusted friend and scribe, Zingdad. On this occasion, I wish to address myself to all the Starseeds who are here upon the Earth, who hail from all galactic civilizations and beyond. I speak also to the Lightbringers who are here from outside of the system of reality entirely. I speak also to the Lightworkers who have found their own divine light within and have been tirelessly and diligently using this light to bring growth and healing where before there was stagnation and illness. Beloved friends, today my message to you is as simple as it is profound. It is this: it's time now to take hands, to unite, to begin to truly co-create together. The long eons behind you have been a time of division and separation, of darkness and despair. The dark elite overlords upon this earth, under the guidance and auspices of their ultimate overlord, a vampiric red Orionid, worked their dark will upon this earth. Whenever one of you came to incarnate upon the earth, they had their agents on the lookout. As soon as you shone your bright and beautiful light, be it through truth-speaking, gift-giving, spiritual healing, teaching reality creation, or even just guidance in the ways of wellness, whenever you shone your light in any manner that caused you to be seen as exceptional and worthy of attention, their agents soon arrived. Throughout history, the same theme has reverberated. All beings of exceptional light were found, isolated, ritually silenced, tortured, abused, and killed. Horrific, shocking, traumatizing deaths, incorporating black magic rituals, were employed, so that your souls would bear a deep resistance to ever rising up and shining your light into the world again. And so a journey of many incarnations followed, in which, shocked and shattered, you endeavored chameleon-like to hide in the general population while you slowly sought healing for your soul. Some hardier souls, though deeply wounded by the shattering experiences dealt to them by the minions of the Dark Elite, endeavored to create secret groupings, mystery schools, ascension schools, secret conclaves that quietly gathered, developed, and transmitted sacred teachings. Almost inevitably, these groupings were discovered by the Dark Elite machinery as they grew in membership and influence. And once discovered, they would be infiltrated, their leadership overtaken by the Dark Elite minions, and their goals and objectives subverted to serve the dark agenda. Where groups were resistant to such infiltration or subversion, they were declared to be evil, wicked, and satanic. Their rites and rituals were declared devil worship, their books burned, their teachings scorned, and their leaders treated to the same shattering all over again. There is so much more we could tell of this long and dismally sad tale, but the point, beloved friends, is that this time is now over. Some time ago, we announced the death of the ancient red vampire, the ultimate head of the entire Dark Elite system of control. Sometime after that, in the midst of the COVID hysteria, we announced victory for humanity. That announcement was a prediction that we could make with absolute certainty, but it was a prediction nonetheless, as the machinery put in place by the now deceased Red Orionid Overlord seemed very much to still be in full effective motion, as you were being pressed to accept vaccine mandates, lockdowns, and all manner of other egregious curtailments to your normal human rights. Some of you felt that we were being overly optimistic at declaring victory at that juncture. And so it was. Sometime later, we were able to reveal at a meeting of the Tribe of Light that the entire dark elite system of control had reached a stage of internal instability that we classified as decoherence, meaning that the various factions and groupings of the dark elite were no longer able to operate harmoniously with each other. They were turning upon each other, and their plans could no longer move forward. Some of those who heard this message also doubted that it could be so, since the dark elite were clearly still in control of the world's leaders and politicians. Their edicts were still being enacted, and so it might have seemed to be an empty pronouncement. Perhaps now it becomes a little easier for you to see that indeed we have been speaking the truth all along. The vast machinery built over eons by the dark elite to penetrate every center of power in the world is now quite obviously in disarray. They are obviously on the retreat. Great change is now palpably beginning to sweep the earth. And so now I can formally add to my previous announcements. My friends, you are now firmly, irrevocably on the fifth density timeline. This is the higher frequency timeline, the good timeline, the timeline that leads to ever unfolding awakening for all humanity. Further updates on the nature of this timeline and what this means to you will be forthcoming. But right now, I return to where I began. My friends, the first thing that I wish you to understand is that the great battle that you came to this earth to fight is won. It really is. For you, it really is actually all over. The battle was to move the needle on the frequency of human consciousness. Everything the dark elite has ever done has served one overarching goal: to keep the frequency of consciousness upon the earth as low as possible. You see, a third density human being is actually incredibly easy to control and manipulate. You can lead them with simple promises: more or better food, safe, warm housing, safety from predators or other dangerous human beings. Assure them that these kinds of basic needs will be met, and they will go along with your leadership. So the dark elite want humanity to be as third density as possible. And you can keep people from raising the frequency of their consciousness, ironically, by keeping them in a state of fear. Traumatic episodes blamed on others, followed by big promises from leadership, keeps the leadership in control. And so it was that war, economic collapse, pandemics, disasters, all of these can and are used by the dark elite to maintain control of third density humanity. A fourth density human is a little more sophisticated. This is the density of the other responsible, a human being who tries to find a worthy leader. They seek out their betters, someone smart enough to understand the complexities of a world that they themselves do not. Someone to navigate politics and power games, someone who will champion their best interests where they themselves cannot. And most importantly, someone who will tell them what to do. Fundamentally, the other responsible soul does not feel within their own being that they are sufficiently competent or worthy. They do not feel as if they themselves can be counted on to make good choices. They are, in essence, spiritual children looking for a good and worthy parent. It's precisely for this group that the dark elite have crafted tools of control, such as religion, politics, scientism, propaganda, and the mainstream media. The other responsible soul, when presented with a barrage of authority figures, all in agreement with any agenda at all, is powerless to resist. Either they must unquestioningly comply with that agenda, or they must transcend their own existential fear and somehow discover their own authentic internal authority. If they can do this, they awaken to fifth density consciousness, self-responsibility. They then become utterly useless to the dark elite. And so the dark elite will do everything in their power to create mass psychoses to stop this from happening. This is what you have seen happening all around you in an accelerated fashion over the last few years. And here, now, is the great news. You may consider the whole worldwide pandemic theatre production to be one big test. Humanity faced an exam. The question was simple. Are you, as a species, sufficiently self-responsible to open a fifth density timeline? The invigilators of this exam were your dark elite and their minions. They cheated egregiously. They skewed the test against you in every possible way. And yet, here you are now. Are you presently, permanently locked down? Do you have a vaccine passport / green passport / social credit score passport that determines how you are able to live? Are they able to force boosters and additional vaccines into your body at any time? Has your financial system been replaced with programmable, controllable, central bank digital coins? Is democracy truly dead? Are you disabled from purchasing vehicle and travel tickets, meat, fresh, whole, healthy, organic foods, weapons and ammunition, precious metals and other alternative forms of currency? My friends, if the dark elite had won, if humanity had failed this test, then you would be answering yes to all of the above by now. But that didn't happen. Humanity, writ large, woke up instead. A sufficiently large cohort found fifth density consciousness, self-responsibility. Indeed, the very processes the dark elite tried to implement triggered a rapidly accelerating awakening like no other. While they were fumbling towards decoherence, they completely botched the entire program so meticulously engineered by the now deceased ancient red vampire. And so it is. Humanity will still have a long road to walk to full divine awakening. Of this there can be no doubt. But equally, your mission, coming to Earth to midwife humanity's awakening to fifth density consciousness, is complete. The job is done. The battle is won. So what now? On the one hand, you can now leave. If it happens that you depart your body, you will be able to move on to higher realms or to return, if you desire, to your home world. You can do so with your head held high. You will be received with songs of loving appreciation. But on the other hand, that would be a sad loss for you. You see, now is when the going is really just about to get good. Really good. As the dark elite implodes, all their minions get flushed down the toilet of history, so things upon this earth will transform. An age of magic and wonderment begins. You will be rediscovering your divine gifts. You will be giving them, and you will be celebrated for doing so. The unimaginably fantastical will become the norm, and planet Earth will be welcomed once again into the galactic brotherhood. This time as a fully equal partner. Truly a wondrous time awaits, and it all begins so very soon. And even this, you can be a part of creating and accelerating. And so this finally is why I say to you, my beloved Starseeds, Lightbringers and Lightworkers, now is the time for you to unite and co-create. Engage in the co-creation of the timeline you are now upon. Find a group or create one. Zingdad and friends have created a beautiful group called the One New Earth Tribe. This is a wonderful place to start. See if you feel resonance with what they're doing. Join them if you do. It's most understandable if you find you have inbuilt resistances, shadow wounds and ancient traumas that instill in you a belief that you are not a joiner, that you don't fit in anywhere. This is the Dark Elite's programming still working upon you lifetimes later. Great groups will have processes in place to help you de-traumatize, to face and reintegrate your lost shadow aspects. If you are whole and healed, why would you not want to belong to a group of like-minded souls? Connecting and belonging, finding friendship and community and love in a group of beautiful souls who are worthy, powerful co-creators. These are some of the greatest joys to be had whilst still in incarnated form. And beyond that, a group working together in harmony exponentially multiplies the creative power that an individual wields. There's a reason the Dark Elite feared such groupings above all else. I'll offer you some thoughts on finding a suitable group. Firstly, please do your own due diligence. If you yourself are still largely of other responsible consciousness, you might want to keep working on raising your frequency before joining any group. You are not ready to be a worthy co-creator yourself, and you will probably choose poorly when selecting a group to join. Secondly, what are the attributes of a good group for you to join? Frequency match, my friends, is the most important. Open your heart, connect with your truth, and check that the group is a good match. Third point, red flags. Don't join any groups that have these attributes. Egomania, my way or the highway gurus, dictatorial leadership to which you must conform, dogmas, teachings that are sacred and not to be questioned. Very importantly, your truth being deprecated. If you're told that your connection to Source and your internal guidance isn't primary, run the other way. And obviously, other responsibility. Groups that foster and are themselves of other responsible consciousness are a horror show. Avoid them. 4, green flags. These are the attributes that are a good sign of a healthy community. A trial phase. If just anyone can join this group at any time and there is no vetting process, then the group risks instability. It's too easy for damaged or controlled individuals to enter the community and cause chaos and harm. So you do want to see that there is some kind of a trial phase for you to enter and for the group to check you out. Opportunity for you to lead, for you to teach, for you to shine your light. If only the existing leadership can ever be in a place of leadership, then this really isn't a self-responsible community. It's actually secretly an other responsible space. Conscious spiritual evolution. Are you being offered guidance in raising your consciousness through self-responsibility to unity consciousness to creator consciousness? Are you offered pathways to the divinity within yourself? A good group, a worthy, conscious co-creator group will be fostering exactly this awakening process. And finally, for the green flags, co-creation. Is the group engaged in consciousness work? Are they doing the great light magic of transforming the world in good and harmonious ways? If not, what is the point of the group? I'll bring this conversation to a close now with some final thoughts. My beloved Starseeds, Lightbringers and Lightworkers, all of you bear the wounds and soul deep scars from your journey through shattering to get here. All of you. Most of you feel like misfits. You have belonging wounds, as already discussed, that inform in you that you shouldn't belong, that you don't fit in, that you will never really be seen and understood. Most of you have the divine power wound. You feel that there is something scary or wrong about you stepping into your divine power, shining your light, and truly creating. Most of you have abundance wounds. You feel there is something wrong with money itself and that you should not receive abundant rewards for the shining of your light. And most of all, most of you suffer the embodiment wound. You feel like your body is a trap, a prison, almost an enemy. And so you try to get up and out using your mind and your upper chakras only, while trying to avoid the body. And so you become ever more ungrounded and ever less effective as a human being. Rather than slogging it out to heal all these wounds, find a group that will help you to accomplish all of this and more. I'll close with just this. The One New Earth Tribe is such a group. I am Adamu, of the monadic entity of the Pleiadian civilization. I have been coming to you, as always, through my dear friend and scribe, Zingdad. Until we meet again, I love you all with the heart of oneness. Goodbye.